everyone, and welcome to another. We're going back to back today, John, like this week, John. Another episode of LunarCRUSH Live. We've got the team from Polkacipher here. We're super excited, as we're always super excited to have Tim and Akhil here, CEO and Director of Ops. So welcome, you guys. Thanks for coming on.
Hey guys, thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
Of course, of course. Before I get started, always our disclaimer on LunarCRUSH Live. You know, we do not take payment for our live streams. We bring on fun people, exciting projects, people that are building in the space and trying to showcase what they're working on and their backgrounds. Make sure you guys get in there and ask any questions for the team. If we get a really good question, maybe we will throw another t-shirt or hoodie out there for everyone if we like it. And also slam that subscribe button as always. So guys, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. We always like to start out. Where are you in the world? What's it like there? Maybe Tim, we could start with you.
Currently in Spain, and as you can see, it's quite nice here. And yeah, that's it right now. Just being able to travel around for the first time in 2 years is great. But this is my home now, Spain, and yeah, crack on from here.
Beautiful, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Akhil, where are you at in the world, and what's it like there, my man? First, you got to unmute.
Right now, I'm traveling as well. I'm in Goa, India, and it's rainy right here. And yeah, I'm just sitting in a co-working space. I just did a GTA from my hotel to this co-working space for this call.
Nice, man. And it's a little bit later there, I know. So appreciate it.
I love it. And here we are in California. I love it. This is great.
Nice.
It's always pretty lucky for us. We get to kind of set the time, and so it's usually mid morning with some coffees for us. But appreciate you guys being halfway across the world or completely across the world. So I'd love to hear a little bit about your guys' background, how you got into the space, what made you excited about cryptocurrency. Just tell us a little bit about your backgrounds, and then we can start hopping into the project a little bit.
Okay, do you want me to go first, Akhil? Okay. Yeah, 2000, well, years and years now, you know, since Bitcoin has been around, really, 2015, 2016, with doing things like shipping stuff from China, drop shipping, etc. But, you know, electric skateboard companies and things, and trying to find ways to make payments to them safer and quicker and cheaper. And that's where Bitcoin came around. So stayed around with that and floated with it. And then sort of 2017 entered into the business side, trying to launch a peer-to-peer e-commerce marketplace. We built it, got it out there, but unfortunately, I don't think at the time people are ready, including now, to buy physical goods with crypto. You know, it was all used for, you know, investment, making money and returns and things. And since then, worked with multiple projects and ducked and dived in and out of some. Recently, worked with a play-to-earn gaming company, helped them do 3 back-to-back #1s on Rarible. And then we realized it was the time for the tech that we've been discussing for the last 2 or 3 years to release it. And then we went ahead and got Polkacipher and started it, you know, get the ball rolling with it, you know. So here's where we are now.
Very cool. So you said it was electric skateboards that you were working, you were selling at one point. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, hoverboards, electric skateboards. I think the boom was in 2016, and then the lithium-ion batteries and stuff started causing problems with airlines and storage and things, so they banned them.
Interesting.
But, yeah, another product. So trying to get payments to China, it was, you know, Alibaba before Alipay and stuff. It was all Western Union, and sometimes you can get scammed and things. So he was looking at ways to make payments and you know, hold them in escrow and stuff until the items arrive and things. So,
and how many years ago was that?
2016. How long have we been working together, Akhil? It's been about 5 years now, 5 years onwards, roughly.
Yep, 5 years, 2017 start, I guess,
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just crazy to think that like payments, even, you know, I mean, we've been in the space for a while, and like Bitcoin has been around, but it wasn't like readily used like for e-commerce. And it's just crazy to think that, I mean, there's still places where there's people sending, you know, Western Union, and it's like, it's just so seamless in our minds, but it's like, it's still not out there.
Well, for example, Western Union, I believe, have just stopped transactions coming from Afghanistan because of the situation over there. So that does open up, you know, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, whichever's available in that area, to be used as a means of payment and barter and commerce and stuff, you know. But we all know what Bitcoin was used for mainly at the beginning. We don't go into that, but yeah, it was sort of e-commerce to buy goods and stuff. So we sort of went with that, with our product, built one of the first apps where people had escrow functionality and everything. But again, this was what, 2017. We had NFTs and stuff going out in 2018. The Pepes and things like that. It didn't really take off, but within the last year, NFTs has sort of boomed, isn't it? So it's what's powering the ecosystem right now. DeFi.
So Tim, as a follow-up question to something you said even today there's, I guess little crypto payments out there. It's just what do you think causes the tipping point for crypto to actually be used as a form of payment?
Right. Yeah, regulation and restrictions and things like that, and the fear. And I know a lot of people. I'm from Wales, a small village in Wales in the UK, and not a lot of people know about cryptocurrency. They just hear Bitcoin, but there are there are thousands of cryptocurrencies out there. We say XRP, but it is a fast method of payment and things like that. But there's a lot of restrictions. I think the regulation and the fear, and obviously the price fluctuations with Bitcoin and stuff scares people off from using it as a means of payment. But and then obviously your banks, your crypto-friendly banks. Lucky for us, here in Spain we got BBVA, and they work with crypto. They've got, I think, their own blockchain development program and everything going, so it's handy. But it's up and down. So.
Good point.
Yep. And so Akhil, I'd love to hear a little bit about your background and how you got into crypto and what makes you excited about the industry.
Sure. I started around 2017. And one of my friends introduced me saying that, hey, look at this. This is something new going on. You can mine it with your laptop. And back in the day, there was some sites where you can connect your laptop, run on your GPU, and mine the cryptocurrencies. So I started doing that. And after that, in mid 2017, a little early in 2017, I met Tim. He was working on his company at that time. So we went along very good, and since then we have been working on multiple projects here and there. I've been helping multiple projects in marketing, but then Tim said that let's start a company on our own. I have this idea, and then we collaborated. It came out beautifully, and then we are here right now.
Awesome. Yeah, we're very far from the days of being able to mine on your own on your own device.
I think 2017 Electronium came out. Electronium, and I was running Electronium and mining it.
Yeah, I think it was 2018.
And I think I have a lot of Electronium somewhere, so I'll have to dig that out on one of the old laptops, But yeah, back in the day, mate. Back in the day.
Love it. So tell us about Polkacipher. I mean, we like to what's the elevator pitch from the top, but also kind of, why did you guys start it, and where did it all begin? Okay,
so it was more around the privacy obstacles, and I worked with a company called Signature Chain on Waves blockchain, and it's something similar to what they've done, but everyone was trying to do payments, remittances, and privacy and everything with tokens, but you couldn't really have the data and everything within that. But with the NFT market and everything starting to be NFTs booming, Akhil came up with the idea, look, okay, we can do a cross-chain oracle focused towards the NFT privacy for businesses, and adding things like community governance, multi-chain interoperability, compatibility with other chains, and on-chain, DeFi apps and things, So that's when Polkacipher came about, and we pushed it towards Polkadot. However, Polkadot isn't currently ready. They get the test nets and everything, but we use BSC for the time being. While ETH is great, BSC still has the same functionality, and it's more cost effective right now. There's Polygon, etc. out there. But we've come up with the ability to make NFTs and documents and insurance policies, etc., private within the top standard of NFTs, etc. But Akhil, again, he's the brainchild behind it all, him and his, the developer, sorry. So if he wants to go into it a bit more and in depth, the technical side, he's more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, definitely. So when we started Polkacipher, you asked a question in the start that why do you think people are not using cryptocurrency as payment, right? So what I think is because of the big companies who are not doing mass adoption at this point of time into cryptocurrency. Even though some companies do like use blockchain technology, it's very remote and internal use, and they are still trying to implement this technology in the company. And one of the main reasons they don't use blockchain is that data security, data privacy. All the companies cannot share their data directly to consumers or on chain just so they can they can adopt the technology. So what we are trying to do is, let's say you and me are trying to have an agreement. So instead of doing it on paper, we'll do it on NFT, but the content of that NFT will be hidden to normal users. But the transaction itself will be available for everyone to see. There are other use cases as well, such as you can do access passes, or you can do uh, hierarchy level passes, payments, ownership transfers, and like a lot of other things. So you can, if we can keep the data private, I think we can make sure that a lot of companies are out there who want to use this, and like we can move toward mass adoption.
You've got me thinking. Give us some use cases here. Like, is this more focused on the enterprise side of things, or is this for like other uses?
Excuse me.
Primarily, it's enterprise solution, because we want businesses to use their day-to-day paperworks or digital documents, transfers, and handling through NFTs, so they can keep that data on chain while keeping the actual data inside those NFTs hidden from general users. Other use cases would be ownership transfers. Let's say you own a property and it's like you transferred all the details on the NFTs for all the about the property on the NFT. So let's say you want to sell it to someone. So you put it in escrow, someone make the payment, they get the NFT. Now they are the owner of the house. So like people can see the transaction, it happened at this cost at this time on this chain, but they cannot see the details until unless the owner wants to make that data available for everyone. Other use cases can be, let's say you have a phone and there's IMEI number, and you want to put that IMEI number on chain, so you can put it on NFTs. And every time someone purchases a new phone, they can go on chain, check the data, and it will still be there. So now you have kind of solved some part of fake phones and fake products problems through, like, people can verify if this is genuine or not.
So like this hat could come with an NFT is what you're saying, and I can verify it through that NFT.
Yeah, you can, like, there could be a code somewhere on the hat. You can go online, check it if this is genuine or not, and plus all the data will be there. Since it's non-fungible, that's one-to-one. It cannot be created, like, there cannot be multiple copies of same NFTs, and you also can see who is the creator of that NFT. So now you can see, okay, this hat has that data, it's genuine. You can verify. So now you're not buying any fake products or something like that.
It's cool.
It's not. It's, going into the technology. It's something I think that needs to be built to be used in the future. Sometimes not everything that it's future tech. Do you mean? So it might not be used now, but say in 3 years' time, 1 year time, 3 years' time, sorry, it may be used like a physical asset against then the NFT and things like that, with the document inside, the proof of ownership, Rolex watch, a patent, for example, like IPW and IBM partnered up the other day to put it on the permission blockchain. But what we're doing is permissionless blockchains. Everything's public. You don't have to be associated within a closed network, and everything is public, so people can see it. But the data that you need to be hidden will be in that that privacy function, and the only people that'll be able to ever see that are people within the actual transaction or the circle themselves. So like how Lightning works, etc. But with the privacy side, there are people building privacy blockchain, secret, etc. But again, they're building a completely new blockchain and ecosystem and token system, etc. But it's not within the ecosystem of Ethereum, BSC, where the millions of users are already at the public side. So for ease of access, you build it this way to start off, And then if it needs to be its own chain, eventually, then you push it off to its own chain. Do you mean? So like, that's where we're at right now. But we're in the development stages of more of the enterprise solutions and the suites, etc. But at this moment in time, to keep our community and our ecosystem growing, we are focusing on the retail side with an NFT cross-chain bridge, which makes play-to-earn games and then NFTs and in-game assets cross-compatible with other games. So if you have a game on Polygon and there's a game on Ethereum and they want to collaborate or partner, you'll be able to use those NFTs from the Polygon within that Ethereum game by using the bridge to be able to cross it over together. But they'll actually be in-game assets. So, the word they're throwing about right now is metaverse. Yeah, it's a bit deeper than what people are actually using right now. But when that terminology metaverse comes in, I see what people are tending to mean in that way right now is just cross-compatibility. And there's so many blockchains out there, unless they are connected in some way, then they're not going to, it's just going to be so many different things going off on what's going to be the core shell. But if we can connect them and keep the bridges open, it's like having Fortnite, which is able to be played on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Switch, etc. So that's the way we're headed with the products that we're sort of launching,
So on that note, I mean, I guess it's more of a question around your product ecosystem. So what does if I'm an enterprise and I want to take this hat and I have an NFT associated with it, I guess what is is there software that I'm using to mint that? And then on the user side, what are they using to access that to verify?
Right. So each client, each enterprise client will have a custom integrations, custom dashboard for themselves where they can input data directly from their supply chain data or probably enter it manually if there's a small company. And there'll be also a registry for users. So if there's some data on your hat and you want to check it online, so you can capture that information, go to that registry, enter that information, and you'll see all the details about that. So since it's an enterprise solution and its use case are very broad, so right now, as we are building it, we are trying to make sure that every client that we are working with right now should have a custom solution.
Okay, cool.
I had a question a little bit further down, but I kind of want to, since we're talking about interoperability a little bit, it's like, and you're talking about taking an NFT from one chain and being able to instantly use it on another chain. It's like, where do you guys think the future lies with interoperability? It's like, there's all these bridges being built, right? And it's like, it's just like, it seems like another trade, and it's like, depending on how much you have to send over that bridge, it could be 3 minutes, it could be 8 minutes. And it's like, you kind of feel like you're like, oh, like it's like a heart attack every time you do it. Cause you're like, I know I'm sending it out there, but it's like, you're still in like this, we're still in this like test deposit phase where it's like when you send change, like, across Ethereum right now or a Polkadot, it's like, you're not sending test anything anymore because you're like, okay, it's definitive that this is going to get there. If it doesn't get there, it means like the blockchain is literally down, which, then they might as well not even own this. But like, where do you think the world is like, is every single project going to need to like wrap a token on a different layer one, or are we going to get to a point where things are just seamless?
To be honest, there's so many different chains in it. Like I was going on about Avalanche, etc., and what they're building, and Cosmos and Polkadot, and everything's in a beta mode right now. We're still in test mode. We're trying to get to that moment where it's like, okay, this works and everybody can use it, and etc. But it's again managed by how much money I'm going to earn on this blockchain, how much this token is going to cost, how much this token is going to bring me, how much this NFT is going to bring me being on Ethereum rather than being on Polygon. As a company, are we going to earn money from the fees better off Polygon transactions, or is it going to be off Ethereum transactions? If it's on Ethereum, we'll keep it as Ethereum, which then throws out the compatibility and everything. Do you mean it just, I don't have the answer to that, but that's all we can do for the time being is, play with the cards that we've been dealt, and just try and build those options and opportunities with the bridges, etc., moving forward. And then hopefully in time, something will work and something will stick. What about you guys? What do you think?
Yeah, no, Akhil or John, you got a comment on it?
I do. I mean, I think it's interesting. You know, I've worked with, you know, digital agencies half of my life, I think, at this point, built hundreds of websites and applications and all these different things. And it's funny, like, you never start with, you know, locking yourself into a technology before you've solved the customer's need. You build, you solve a problem, you build a solution for a customer, and along the way, you're picking technologies that fulfill that. I think what's funny about crypto is it starts backwards. It says, use this blockchain, now go build something on it, now go find users. And it's like 90% of the projects we talk to, I'm throwing that number out there, but like, do exactly that. And when you look at the actual transactions on some of these projects, they are not there. So they built something really neat and there's no customers. So I think as long as you're solving problems and focused on customer need, the rest kind of doesn't matter. Because if you look at most of these leading chains, they all say they're fast. They all say they have low transactions. They all say, look what we can do better than Ethereum. At the same time, what are they solving? And I think that's where a lot of crypto's gone wrong. That's my perspective. But I think that will change. Yeah. That's going to change over time.
Yeah, and the terminology, you know, the saying, if we build it, they will come. It's not in crypto. It doesn't work. I built a product, a really good product, a DApp and everything, and I built it, and they didn't come, so people didn't use it. But I think what we're trying to do, while the community is saying to us, look, launch this. Is it going to be ready Q2, Q3, Q4? It'll be ready when it's ready, and we feel that the use case of the product and the solution it's providing to the problem is ready. You know what I mean? So, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to blockchain, because of the money that's being used and the security and everything, when you develop something, you have to run the security. If the security may have an issue, you've got to come back to development and keep on doing so until you've got it right, and then continue to develop and continue to build. So it's not something that can be done overnight. A lot of people expect it to be done overnight. It's just a process we've got to go through step by step. And I hope my community sees that we are building things that are, for the current NFT industry, use cases, tools that are not currently existing, that will be there. And like I'm going back to products that have built non-scalable options, they're on BSC or they're on Ethereum, and then they're looking, how can it scale? Well, the cross-chain bridge of NFTs, etc., from Polkacipher will allow them to open up their ecosystem to move from Ethereum to BSC to Polygon and any other EVM chain we add in, and any other compatible chains through their bridges, etc., that we can add in. It's just, again, a matter of time. We've got BSC, Ethereum, Polygon, and a few others we haven't announced yet being added to the bridge. So, you know, we got to see how it goes.
I would like to add that this bridge is just one of the few before we start building out real products for our clients and the NFT marketplace. Because we feel that while there are a lot of NFT marketplaces out there, they lack certain tools which should be there at like the very start for all the users to use, like different payment options, different chains, all the chains basically in one place, all the NFTs, tools, and the metrics behind metadata, the price history, and certain things that we think that should be there. We are building it out one by one. Bridge is one of them. And when this is done, then we'll move forward for NFTs marketplace, a cross-chain NFT marketplace, and enterprise solution for our clients.
Well, it'd be a multi-chain marketplace, because we can't just build a marketplace like OpenSea, which allows for Ethereum and Polygon, and then all the royalties within those NFTs are kept on a central server as metadata, rather than you able to take that NFT away from OpenSea. So you are limiting, you know, nothing against that. It's a fantastic way the NFTs grow, but they're limiting the expansion of the NFT space and the blockchain space within this technology, because they're keeping the royalties of the owners on their platform, so people don't leave their platform. So yes, they're going to have a couple of 100 million in transactions a week because nobody's leaving their platform. Do you mean? So, you know, we've got to allow it with what, you know, Akhil, I don't know if you said yet, but we're building the standard which allow for royalties, etc., to be pulled on any marketplace. Do you mean? So it doesn't limit people to OpenSea or Rarible. Yeah. But yeah, the tools are essential, and we're just trying to build that toolbox that, like the Swiss Army knife, which will allow people to move the NFTs back and forth. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, we look at other options which do work, are required and needed. But we do think that the compatibility issue and the interoperability issue between chains is one of the biggest problems, and the solution we're building is for that to be solved. So. But are you guys into your NFTs, or
Oh yeah,
bought any?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Recently.
Yeah, no, I'm not like Gary V level buying like $6 million NFTs yet, but I dabble a little bit and starting to mint some, and I'm actually my wife does some pretty cool designs and stuff, and so she's actually looking at some different ways to start minting some stuff. But again, it's the same type of thing. It's like, where do you mint it? Why do you mint it there? Right? Is this a more artistic marketplace? Is this, a transactional marketplace? What is this? So it's good to see, like reading your guys' site, like BNFT, and it's like right now it's this like fun advertising thing, and like even like Visa and all these people are getting into it, but it's like, where's the utility in that? Right now it's just an attention play, which is fine and it's great, and it's training millions of people about cryptocurrency that otherwise probably are like, I'm not like, what Bitcoin, what? But they're like, ooh, I like this NBA player, and I'll buy this packet, of cards. And so it's like, it's training a new type of person. But I think it's like the utility behind, like you were talking about real estate and transactions. It's like, I'm just thinking about the number of like legal documents that get put in front of me that I need to sign. And it's like, you sign it, they have it somewhere, you have it somewhere. It's like, then you're saving it to like, are you saving it to like a shared drive? Where are you saving it? Who has access to it? Do you need to make iterations on it? Now I have an old version that has an iteration that the new version says is now nulled. It's like, well, when was this actually signed? And did they print it out, and did they re-sign it? And so when you think about it, it's like, man, the collection of that data, if there's some sort of dispute, especially internationally, is just an absolute nightmare. Right. But if we could both have this document in the same place, and it doesn't need to be so drawn out, you could just make adjustments, and we both have a key to unlock that. I don't want, the rest of the world to be able to see that, but these two parties should be able to see that. And then, like being interoperable with what you guys are saying, it's like, that's perfect, because it's like, wait, what if I mint my BNFT, on BSC and they just like shut down? Right? Or what if it's like, you want to kind of spread this out to multiple chains? And so, I mean, I'm like, that use case to me, it just screams like tons of users.
But that's what we're trying to explain to people. They're asking, oh, what are you doing this for enterprise? But we have to start with the retail side, with the funny GIFs and the pictures and the JPEG rock that just got sold for 1.3 million by Justin, etc. Yep. But we have to start there and then give these trials. Some NFTs, they're worth millions, some are worth nothing. Do you mean? So people can practice. We've even got a minting function on the bridge where they can mint their own NFT on Ethereum, Polygon, or BSC, and then they can test out with the bridge, because if they do on Polygon, it costs next to nothing. But as you were saying with the BNFT side, if the company you're working with doesn't use Ethereum and they use BSC, then they'll be able to use their application maybe to sign on BSC rather than Ethereum on that document. We're not going to be creating legal documents. We're not going to be making template legal documents, but they'll be allowed to add that document in, and it'll all be allowed, to be signed. I've seen other companies, legal companies, etc., say, all right, we're going to make these templates. You're going to be able to use them back and forth. However, there's so many legal templates for different regions, different cities, different, countries, etc. That'd just be a mission of a lifetime. So we're not going to do that, but we're going to allow the documents to be added, uploaded, signed, etc. Like you have a DocuSign, and then that is going to be on a public blockchain where people can see the transaction. It's all gone through and been signed. And then it's up to the initiator and the receiver, or the initiator mainly, what information is allowed to be shared publicly with people, in the world. And this, again, going back to what you said about Visa, this is the technology that Visa needs to use, to move forward. So if they want to contact us and reach out, just to have a play about, they're more than welcome to. That'll be beneficial for us, and I believe it'll be beneficial to them. Do you mean we might be small, but we can still look to help them? So, yeah.
Yeah, another thought around. I think there's almost these dual discussions going around with NFTs. There's this kind of creative side, and then there's this utility side. I don't think they're separate at all. I mean, I'm going to give you the example of, like, if you were working with an enterprise software company, and let's say that that company had 10 software products in their platform, right? And someone might subscribe to 3 of them, right? That the marketing department in that enterprise software company is not going to want the NFT to look like crap. They're going to want it to be beautiful. It's going to be designed. It's going to have access to certain documentation related to the subscription. It's gonna be very, very artistic, and it's going to be on brand. And so I don't know if this is any different. It's just that what's currently happening, the value is in the rarity today, and not necessarily that that's the most beautiful JPEG rock that you've ever seen. It's just that it's rare, and that there's demand. Exactly. And I'd even argue, well, go prove that transactional history is real. Prove to me that it's not a bunch of just, we'll call it wash trading. And that's another fun part. There's a lot of manipulation in this NFT market. And so, but yeah, it's missing that access. So there's a lot of interesting things I think you'll see in the enterprise side.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in. I wouldn't really talk about that side because it's not something I look at or believe in. If people are doing that, we can't stop them. At the end of the day, it's decentralized, and that's the way they want to go. But so going back to NFTs, if there was a blockchain game or something, or Fortnite started doing skins as NFTs, etc., and then another game said, okay, we've got a game, we could reach out to the Fortnite users here and say, okay, you can use your skins in our game as NFTs. They could use cross-chain technology, interoperability to allow that in-game assets to be used in their game, even as rewards or discounts, etc. So there's a lot of things they could do with brand marketing, brand partnership. There is endless possibilities with blockchain. It's just getting implemented at the right stages and at the right time, and having users to use it in the way they should be. So.
And how will that look exactly? With will you have a little marketplace, or how will they actually move that? If there's something on Minecraft or something, how would they actually move that skin across?
So if they are blockchain assets or NFTs and they're on one of the chains that we support, they'll be using their wallets, and their wallets then will act as a function to say that asset is there. NFT, whether it's a token, NFT, etc., you'll be able then to jump onto the bridge, and anything that's in your wallet that's connected through your wallet, so MetaMask, for example, it will populate. As if it's an image, JPEG, PNG, etc., GIF, SVG, it will populate on the bridge. You'll be able to select that, and then once it's selected, it'll pop up on the side, and then basically we've taken it offline to add updates to it before it goes live next week. But you're able to select then which chain you're going to send it to. And so far, like I said, we got the Polygon, Ethereum, and BSC. We'll be adding another one next week, quite a big one. And you'll be able to select which one you're sending it to, and then you send it over. And if it's in that wallet, you'll be able to connect that NFT then to the game. If it's a decentralized game, decentralized app. But again, it's up to the game whether they add the functionality of allowing NFTs and in-game assets using a blockchain wallet connected. So without going off on one, trying to confuse myself, it's not easy, but it's not hard either.
Right. And then if I get to guess you're adding Solana next week. You don't have to answer that question though. I just get to.
No, I didn't say that. That's a wormhole we don't want to go down. So
no rumors.
No. But it is one with quite a large user base.
Cool.
But we've got BSC. But again, EVM chain compatibility, we can add to it in a couple of hours. Run development, security tests, etc. Akhil is the man when it comes to this one. So if you want to go into it, Akhil, you're more than welcome to, buddy. But so we're talking to a lot of play to earn games, BSC and Polygon games. And a lot now have created their NFTs on Polygon due to the fees of Ethereum being high. But they want to now move over to BSC or Ethereum. They can batch those NFTs over to BSC. We're talking to a few games to do that. And there are a lot of games on, I'm not going to go into but there are a lot of games on BSC and some are on Polygon, and they're able to then bridge theirs over, and the data within those NFTs will be added to those games, and those games will allow them to put their NFTs of different rarity to offer different perks, APY boosts in staking, etc.
So let's say a game does that. Let's say a game does that, and does this come into your cphr token? Does that come into play in there? Does that mean the game is integrating your token into it? Where does the token fit into all of this?
So with tokens, it allows you to have access to all the tools and the marketplace. With tokens, you can pay lesser fees. But Other than that, there's staking. Other projects can stake their NFTs or tokens and get cphr as rewards. But for now, on a bridge, if you want to, let's say, do it from Ethereum to Polygon, and it's costing you around $10, probably 1%, 1.5% of the entire transactions from ETH to make the transaction, it's, let's say, it's $70. So around 70 cents, something like that. So with our token, you can pay lesser fees. Like if you pay it in our token, then you're paying a lesser fees, probably around 20-30% lesser. And there's staking, there's governance that this, like, you can use our token to do, which is coming up in probably next month. Yeah, these are the basic use cases for the tokens.
And then when it comes into Polkadot and we build it even more, there'd be more use case and usage with the cphr token as well. So yeah, it's going to be, we got to get that development out there first, but it's waiting for the right moment as well. But the bridge, you know, mainnet to the bridge, we put it up. We took feedback off a lot of users that VIP access, and we are implementing that change. Even things like tooltips and notifications when they've clicked on a button, what happens next and things like that. So those are things that we need to put into place to make sure that it's a simple process to use. Because if it's difficult, people aren't going to use it, or they're going to get confused. And if they're sending over an NFT that is worth $1 million and they don't know what they're doing, then, you know, who's going to have the blame? It's going to be us. So we just need to make sure that everything is precise and spot on. But yeah.
Is the governance token?
Akhil mentioned,
you got another one.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe. I was going to ask the exact same question. So go for it. Yeah, because
is the governance token the same? Is it going to be the same token, or are you going to have a second token? And then, you know, how does, you know, I think I read like you guys are going to move towards decentralization more. Like, how does that move start to look as well?
It won't be a token. It will be an NFT.
Okay, so the governance is going to be an NFT.
Yeah, so you can mine those, like some part you can mine those governance NFTs by holding some tokens and doing some actions on a platform. Other than that, some higher tiers governance NFTs, you can buy them, or if you are an early investor in a project, then you'll have a basic drop of level 1 governance NFT. There'll be levels of governance NFTs, because since this is an NFTs, we can create levels, hierarchy into all these things, and which will allow our investors and other users to do certain actions on a platform. So let's say there's one tool that we are building, which is NFT staking. So in NFT staking, or basically in any staking, when you want to stake a token, there's a pre-derived value of that token. So let's say if you want to stake ETH and get something in return. So and ETH is $3,200. So you already know the price because it's trading in the market, but there's no fixed price for NFTs. So there's only floor price, which you can capture from certain platforms, that this is the lowest price it's been trading on. And also, other than that, there's some other metrics that allows you to capture the not actual but current price of those NFTs. So on NFT staking, when user comes to a platform and says that I want to stake this NFT and I want to gain certain XYZ reward, there'll be an option where it shows their floor price, and there'll be another option which will show that I'm not satisfied with my floor price. This NFT is like way higher than what price you're showing. I want a new assessment. So when they click that button, it will go to DAO, where all the NFT governance holders, level 1 users, will be able to pseudo bid on that NFT, saying that this is okay. I'll bid for 1 Ethereum. I'll bid for 1.5. You'll get the average price. Then he'll get a new floor price. And then if he accepts that, that's fine. If not, then he can send it back to the DAO, and then it's like process goes on. So so hierarchy will help there. Other would be fee structure, product development, all those normal things that governance tokens hold.
Cool. I like it. So it's going to be, so how do you earn that initial level though? And then, so if I got this right though, you're going to have each NFT level, and then those are going to be specifically traded on their own. And so there's going to be a market for each of these levels, and depending on how valuable that level is, that's going to fluctuate in price, right?
Yes.
super interesting.
So
going into the NFT staking part,
we are yet to release the information on how you can earn those, earn or buy those governance NFTs. But basic will be staking our tokens, doing some actions on our platform, probably track history of certain transactions on our bridge or other tools that will release, something in that measure.
Proof of work on your platform.
Yes.
Very cool.
But the staking part, what we're currently seeing is staking. They say staking NFTs, but they're not staking NFTs. They're staking tokens, but they're holding an NFT to be eligible to stake.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not NFT staking. So I had a chat with the company the other day, quite a big company, and I was like, "We're bringing out NFT staking." He's like, "That's been around for a while." I'm like, "No, they're staking tokens. They hold an NFT in their wallet. That NFT gives them access to stake that token to earn the rewards. That's different. I've done that with AnarchyX. We sold NFTs. They were allowed to then stake into a certain staking pool to earn higher rewards based on the NFT they had. It's like whitelisting the NFT. That's sort of simple stuff to do when you've got NFTs and wallets. This is not revolutionary, but the NFT staking is actually staking the NFT and earning rewards from that NFT not being in use, not being sold, and the governance will give that floor price of the NFT. If the NFT creator doesn't agree with that floor price, they can have it back, and like Akhil said, they can send it off again. And then the governance will come back and say, all right, we've agreed on this. This is what we think it is. And it's up to them to accept it. However, if you look at it from my point of view, if you have an NFT and it's not being used, even if you're earning 1% a month or 1% a year, you're still earning 1% of something rather than 100% of nothing. Do you mean? So it's a good attribute to have in this industry of everything being NFTs. So that's something we're bringing out, and we've just got to get it out there. It's different. But the NFT staking part, we could do that tomorrow. We could launch staking pools, and you have to own a certain NFT, maybe a pudgy penguin or a rock or something. And if you do them, the bigger the NFT, the more rewards. We could do that, any day. But it's not revolutionary. So the NFT staking part is. But again, they're just products. They're sort of future tech products. But we've got to get them out there to see what they work.
But those staking rewards, does that come back to them in the Cypher token?
Yeah.
They can earn Cypher tokens or any partner projects that's partnering with us, saying that we want to give rewards to your users, or any game that wants to reward other users, saying that if they stake their NFT, we'll give them as rewards. So like a partnership.
Cool. Okay.
I think where this also gets super interesting for you guys is once you kind of solidify this like NFT staking in the way that you're doing it, but also marrying up the kind of interoperability, right? Because it's like having that ability to do that cross chain. That's where that gets really kind of cool, because now you're opening that up to so many different platforms versus saying like, hey, I got to mint this NFT in this one place and now I'm stuck here. It's like, no, this thing can now move. And when you do that, that opens up a lot of opportunity.
Yep.
And in NFT staking, tokens is not the only reward. You can get NFTs as rewards as well. So let's say if someone wants some users to stake a very lower traits NFT from a collection and say that stake this for 15 days. And then you'll unlock a bigger NFT as a reward. So then you can do that as well. So it's not just tokens as rewards, it's NFTs as rewards as well. So
I like that. That's cool. There's a project, I'm not going to give them a shout out, but I'll just say it's in the Doge space. And they issued 10,000 NFTs, and now they have a line of puppies coming out. And if you hold an NFT, you earn one of the puppies just by holding it. And I thought that was, just to give a face to what you're saying, it's kind of interesting because you start to have sub NFTs that maybe relate to the main one. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes. So for here, you're just holding it in your wallet. The versions that's out right now, you're holding that NFTs in your wallet, which is basically the projects are capturing data from your wallet and then deciding that if you're eligible to do that or not. By staking, you're actually locking your NFT, not making the transactions, lowering the circulations. So in current cases, we have NFTs which is just avatar, and people want to have them, and they collect through the marketplace, OpenSea, and buy and sell. But here, if you have something valuable, some like governance NFTs, what we're trying to build, like in the future. If you have governance NFT, if you want a higher level governance NFT, we don't want you to trade those NFTs while still making sure that you're going to earn for higher rewards. I don't know if I made sense.
No, you did.
You went off on one a little bit, but yeah, it made sense at the end.
Yeah, we're deep down the NFT rabbit hole right now, and changing business models, which is great because you guys are thinking through like the company of the future, right? You're not, and it's stuff that John and I are talking about all the time, but it's like you're thinking through how will we be successful 5 years from now in that economy, right? Not the economy of today, which is the economy of yesterday. And so it's fascinating because it's everyone in this space is just screaming towards that while the rest of the world is just getting left behind. And so, you guys actually have created a nice little following too on Twitter. How are you guys thinking about marketing today and getting the word out? And, what's been like, why do you think the community is gravitating towards you guys?
So from what I've basically said to the team is, we can market as much as possible, but until we have the product ready to use, the bridge, for example, then we're going to push the marketing from that point. And Bella, our CMO, is there, and Lawrence, our CSO, as well, to make sure that we are, lining up the partnerships for the time when that comes. So we'll have continuous partnership announcements because, like I said, again, these NFT games or play to earn games, they can't just stay on one chain and expect people to come from other chains to on it. But if they interoperable and they can go back and forth, they've opened up their user base to millions more people. So marketing is going to ramp up basically from the point of product drop, which should be next week with the bridge being out there. And then we're going to have some quite heavy support from quite a large name within the industry, but we're not ready to announce that yet. But, an announcement of an announcement sort of thing. But so we have got the plan ready. But again, I don't believe in pushing and marketing something until the product is dropped. So.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, we jump on LunarCRUSH and it shows us all our stats and everything. And we see who are supporting us, what companies are supporting us. It's really good. And it does give us an aspect of, who's following us. And if that worked that week, then we can continue down that road and then continue with these certain influencers. And why are these influencers helping us out and why are they supporting us? So we speak to them then and have a chat with them. Guys, why are you supporting us? What about Polkacipher and the technology we're bringing that is interesting to you, especially the NFT creators? And then we can build that creator base off that, so that'll help with marketing. So that's what I like about LunarCRUSH.
We just added Polkacipher to LunarCRUSH, so it's going to fill up quite a lot in the coming weeks here. You'll see your data expand out, and you'll probably start to see dozens to hundreds of influencers and all of the social activity over time. I'll tell you one of the coolest things is to start not just see what's in your Twitter feed right now about Polkacipher. It's that when you see that strength over time build, and you see that it's not like any one magic tweet or any one magic campaign or product drop. It's just more of the community building. It's super exciting. So
that's the important bit. But it's bringing the tools that we're bringing out will work with our multi-chain marketplace. And I think that creators will, while they've got an OpenSea Foundation, Rarible, etc. out there right now, I think the multi-chain marketplace that we will allow, not only with the standard royalties to be taken elsewhere, but the ability to move those royalties from one chain to another as well. That's not out there right now. So if someone does bridge that NFT from Ethereum to BSC, that creator will still earn his royalty, whether it's on another chain or not. So without the fear of a CryptoPunk moving from chain to chain to chain, the originator will still be there, the history will still be there, and he'll show who created it, the history, royalties, etc., moving forward. So that's what we're trying to do. But, yeah.
Very cool. Well, we do have one question out here from Ayush. I'm not sure if you guys can answer it, but have you guys started onboarding data vendors? Just curious to know from the roadmap.
Yeah. Akhil, if you want to go on to it.
Yep. Data vendors, he's probably asking for Oracle, which will come probably by end of this quarter, which will allow enterprises to get their data from off-chain to on-chain. So no, we are not started onboarding data vendors, but we are in talks with few of the enterprise companies and a few data vendors, but we have not onboarded anyone. We are trying to understand what kind of data we need to onboard first for our first few clients that we are talking to. And after that, when we are like confirmed that okay, we need this kind of data, we'll start onboarding them. But we do have few lineup of all the data vendors that we need.
Cool. And looks like we just got another one, which you guys kind of answered a little bit before, but maybe Piyush wasn't on. But how do you plan to expand Polkacipher into a metaverse with its products or tools?
Yep.
It's like could be like the largest question ever too. Like,
you want me to answer?
How do you plan to?
Yeah, without throwing that word metaverse out there, because it's one of them catchy words that everybody's going to jump onto right now. I'd just say more about compatibility and interoperability within the blockchain ecosystems and DeFi. We're going to do that with the bridges, the NFT staking, and the Oracle network as well, which will be coming out within privacy. So that will allow creators on any chain that's compatible with our bridge to be able to move their assets back and forth whenever they want. So.
Yeah, such an important piece to what you guys are building there. It's like that, just kind of hitting that home and like the aha moment that kind of creates for everyone. Well, cool, guys. We're coming up on the hour here. I'd love to just, is there anything else the community can look forward to? And then also, where should people, if they want to support you, follow you, get involved, how do they get involved?
Okay, so polkacipher.com is the website. Everyone's building the community on Telegram. It's still the main place to go for community building, but we will be opening up the Discord and other channels, WeChat, etc. soon when the creator side comes about. But yeah, follow us on Twitter and keep an eye out in the community.
Very cool. Well, Tim, Akhil, you guys, this was awesome. It was super fun to meet you guys and learn more about what you guys are building. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of this stuff in play and minting some NFTs and moving them cross chain. And, I'm going to have fun with it too. So, congrats on all the success so far and getting out there and being a part of everything. So really appreciate it.
Cheers. As soon as the bridge becomes available, we'll send you the links and everything to jump on it straight away so you can share it out. But it's going to be, it's going to be one of them where people jump on and be like, wow, I can actually move my NFTs anywhere. So hopefully that's the reaction.
Cool.
So,
cool.
Awesome, you guys. Perfect. Well, have a good rest of your evening. We'll chat with you backstage. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. This will be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, you name it. It'll be everywhere. So thank you for listening. And John, as